clearly right here on Channels Television. We're reaching you from the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. Welcome to the morning brief. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Of course, I have this elegantis. I don't know what that means, but
that's new.
I meant to say elegance in case it means something else.
It has a nice, elegantis. I'm sorry what it means, but hey.
Somebody sounding like Ancient of Days this morning, and that's Jeffrey. So it's not just me. He got the bug too.
No, is that English?
Elegantis.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's
we need to have a spin-off. People call that Jeffrey. But hey, welcome to the show. We're trying to infect you with some excitement here, in spite of what is going on out there. But welcome to the show. I'm Kayode Kikelu.
Yes, welcome to the morning brief. Good morning, and I'm saying with my full chest this morning. Today is Thursday, February the 29th. So I'm not getting it wrong this time. But before we go on, guys, I have a question for you.
Right.
What happened to February the 29th in the last 4 years? Who wants to go first? Jeffrey? Kayode?
I mean, man, I don't remember things like that.
No way, Jeffrey, don't say that. Men will come for you. We remember
30 days
things,
of September, April, June.
No, I said 4 years ago.
All the rest of
4 years ago.
So, I have a theory, yeah.
Men don't remember things like that.
We do, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
This is a year where we change. I remember all those dates. Okay.
4 years ago, man.
But the truth is, it's always been there. Nothing really happened to February the 29th. It's just the way we choose to see dates and days that essentially change. So it's always been there. Sometimes it's March the 1st. But we just say it's not there. We choose not to recognize it because of a Gregorian calendar, which we use. So my theory is it's always been there. We just choose not to recognize it.
Yeah,
I don't want to chop knuckle alone because there should be a gift attached to this.
Well, something is coming later on, and it's called parfait.
No, I want from you.
Okay, we'll talk about that after the program.
So choosing not... whatever.
So yesterday someone said to me that, oh, it's so bad. Those born on the 29th of February don't get to celebrate their birthdays until after 4 years. I'm like, oh, no, that's not true. Maybe somehow they celebrate on the 1st of March. So it made me reflect on the concept of time. What happens to time? We kill time. Sometimes we say that time is not against us. We're waiting on time. The maverick, phenomenal quality of time remains there. So time is always loyal to the truth. February the 29th in the last 4 years has always been somehow in the womb of truth. So happy birthday to those who were born on the 29th of February. You get to celebrate again after 4 years. So whatever you do, when you're making the most of time, make sure that you're on the right side of truth, because time is always loyal to truth. So, good morning and welcome.
So just for February 29, you read all that epistle for one day of the... oh, boy.
You know, I could just sit back and watch.
I love this. I love it. It's okay.
February is...
It's okay.
Jeffrey.
It's okay.
It's because you were not born on the 29th of February. And probably because Mrs. Jeffrey was not born on the 29th of February.
No, my wife
if we're closer to home, you think differently.
Yeah. Okay, maybe something really close for you. Okay, but I still stand on what I said. There are things men choose not. Is it we choose not to remember, or we just can't remember?
Jeffrey, I'm on your own on this one. We've got a lot of flack. We're changing.
But there's another issue. Kayode, you were privy to that story of a lady that was brutalized on the express. I don't know the details, but our colleague sent it to us. Maybe we can, before we go to the highlights of what we're doing today, what exactly happened?
Well, I understand that the case has been handled by the police.
Okay.
So, someone hit her from the back, and she reports that she was brutalized by
I could see the video.
From the back, and the police eventually came into the picture. 4 people were said to be in the vehicle, 2 were detained, 1 was released, 1 is said to be at large. So that's a missing part of the puzzle that we're really trying to figure out. So we're following that story, just to say that we're following it. And I mean, nobody should be brutalized in such manner. Talk more of a woman.
A woman. I saw the video of she was trying to video or make record of what was going on, and a guy came, charged at her, hitting the phone and all of that. That's below. I said low. You don't do that. And she was literally bleeding. Come on, man.
Oh, that's a no.
You could do better. He said no. You could get yourself into big trouble. But hey, let's hope that the authorities will do their best, as well as the network.
That's an assault, Jeffrey.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe we should emphasize it, and it's punishable, under the laws. Not
so it should never happen again.
An assault that happens behind closed doors that we call domestic violence. This is, an assault. I imagine under the VAP laws, it is punishable.
And it was at night. Oh, anyway, we're still following that story, as Kayode said, but the network was not behaving well yesterday. I don't know what you experienced, but from where we are, some of the network was not, I don't know, to make calls, to receive calls, it was just difficult. But I hope it's been resolved so that we can enjoy our calls and, of course, do our internet subscription so we can have access to all the things that happen on Next. But hey, but that's not all we have for you. We have a lot more for you on the program. Okay, big question perhaps on everybody's lips is, when will things get better for citizens of Nigeria? Well, the monetary authorities, in their latest approach to escaping the bites of the economy, among other measures, have pushed for an aggressive hike in interest rate, now at 22.75. Yeah. And they've increased the bank's cash reserve ratios, more like the money they will have to hold back for the bank, for the 5% to lower inflationary pressures and stabilize the economy. Is this the answer? Well, we'll get the response from the experts right here on the show. We're all trying to fix Nigeria's economy. Things are not working yet. How soon is soon? Well,
as far as the currency is concerned, there was some excitement on social media in the last 24 hours, and for good reason. We hope that it's sustained. But besides that matter about the economy, today on the show, we'll also explore the nexus between fashion and influencing and all the undetected details to make you stand out by following the playbook of the people who have been there, done that. Trust me, it's plenty, so stop playing.
Stop playing.
I'm sure you can't wait to find out how. Stick around, you will.
Okay. But that's not all. The question is, when last did you have a well-prepared meal, or what we could call a perfect meal? In fact, there's a meal that's named perfect, literally, and there you have it, perfect. Have you ever wondered the impact of that combo on your health and how to put together the different combinations? What exactly is parfait? And what is it not? I've seen some parfait that are imperfect. So there are many questions. I will unpack the answers with a chef as our guide. So get your spoon for the scoop. I'm not promising though, but get your spoon. We'll help you with the scoop.
Coming from the professional of parfait.
The parfait, the chief parfait.
Trust him, he knows what he's talking about.
They say I like Asun. There's someone that likes parfait.
Sitting by my left.
Kayode.
Wow, I appreciate. Oh, I do love it.
No, I do love parfait. Really. But that's all. Share your thoughts with us. CTV Morning Brief, that's on X. Also, get to our WhatsApp, send the videos and the messages. As soon as we verify them, yes, that's that number. Don't call, just send your messages and your videos. I will ensure that you have your say on the program. So post on X, send it to us, and we'll explore all of that. Amplify your voice, that's the entire idea right here on the Morning Brief. We tell you it's a community show, so we get engaged with you at all times right here within these next 2 hours of the program. But of course, we also need to remind you that the third mainland bridge issue, of course, it started yesterday, it's going to end today. So maybe afternoon you can begin to think of exploring the third mainland bridge. So go to the island or come back from the island. But there's a lot more coming on the program. We'll take this quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you our top stories. Stay with us. On the brief this morning, a fearless fighter is how the President Bola Tinubu describes the legacy of the late governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, who died in December. The president echoed the qualities of the former learned Sikh when he paid a condolence visit to Mrs. Akeredolu in Owo town in company of the Ondo State governor and other days after he was buried. He was received in the ancient town of Owo by the Olo of Owo, Oba Jibade Ogunye, who appreciated him for the visit.
We lost, and he lost 12 sons. So, yes, a man passed. Keredolu is my very, very close ally. And he's a son of the soil. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's all. As simple as that. I'm running out of time, but I said I must be here. I must see you. I feel the life of my friend, my partner, my political associate. Thank you for giving him a befitting burial. Thank you very much. Aiyedatiwa. Thank you, Deputy. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Also part of the president's journey to the Southwest state is a visit to the leader of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization, Afenifere, by Ruben Fasharonti, where he assures the leaders that Nigeria will survive the current challenges and takes full responsibility for all actions of the federal government. Well, the president from Ondo State came to Lagos yesterday to inaugurate the Lagos Red Line project that will be inaugurated today under the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration. And later in the day, the president is going to head out to Qatar to honor the invitation by the Emir of Qatar and also participate in a business and investment forum. Let's head back now to the nation's capital, where the Senate has summoned the Minister of the FCT and the FCT Commissioner of Police to brief lawmakers on the security in the FCT against the backdrop of the recent Galadima kidnap incident. The Senate announced the resolution after a motion moved by Senator Ned Nwoko, representing Delta North, on the need to urgently enhance security measures in the FCT. Among other resolutions taken by the Senate includes calls on the IG of police to urgently increase security patrols and surveillance within Abuja and across the nation to proactively combat and prevent further kidnapping in the country.
Disturbed that the gravity of this situation has only been compounded by the revelation of Barrister Agidi and others' untimely demise at the hands of these abductors, and their remains recovered and deposited at Bogolada Teaching Hospital mortuary.
In view of these tragic incidents, that we invite the Minister of FCT and the Commissioner of Police in charge of FCT to meet the Senate in closed session to discuss on the issue of the security of the FCT.
Now, something happened next door. In 2023, the national power grid was reported to have collapsed at least 13 times, and some incidents have been recorded already in the last 2 months. Now, bothered by that development, the House of Representatives has now resolved to investigate the recurrent incident, which has now become what you consider a national embarrassment following a motion moved by Representative Billy Osarawo from Edo State, who believes if checked, it can improve the nation's security and boost economic growth.
Mr. Speaker, the House recalls that the nation is currently facing its worst form of insecurity, including insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and other violent crimes. The collapse of the national grid will embolden criminal activities and security facilities such as the Vigiscope app, the Police Situation Room app. All police command control rooms can be compromised during the dark hours. Tracking devices that need power to reach telephone lines can be hampered. Mr. Speaker, cognizant of this, that if the frequent national grid collapses are thoroughly investigated and solutions profiled, it will end the continuous system collapse, boost the economy, and reduce the suffering of citizens.
Now, in a rare dramatic twist to the Edo State governorship race, the Edo State Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, who emerged as a candidate in a parallel governorship primary from the PDP, he stormed the headquarters of that party, the PDP's national headquarters secretariat, to demand for a certificate of return. Mr. Shaibu's action is in spite of the electoral umpire's representation of certificate of return to Aswe Godalo, who was declared winner in the party's main primary in Benin City. The deputy governor insists that he is the authentic party flag bearer for the September polls.
Today is the day set aside by the electoral guideline approved by the National Working Committee to be the day that the return certificate will be issued. And so it's not something surprising I'm here. I'm here to receive my certificate of return because I won the primaries in Edo that was conducted, and the authentic delegates voted. I'm sure when you look at the walls of the PDP, you see the names of all the delegates that voted for me on the walls of PDP. When the party internal mechanism is being followed, and it's obvious that the party is not likely to listen, the next line of action obviously will be the judiciary. But I pray we don't get there, and that is why I came today. I'm sure in the coming days, the national chairman and others will adhere to what brought me here today, and when they do so, obviously there won't be need to go to court. But if they don't do what is needful in the sense that I won the primary with the authentic delegate, the certificate should be returned to me. If that is not done, we will not have any choice to seek for interpretation by the court.
A lot of drama in the coming days, I bet. So let's move on now to the concerns raised by some groups. Now, they are raising concern over hostile business environment, but this is coming from the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, IPMAN, saying it can no longer continue in such business environment. IPMAN is blaming the hostility on the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPCL Retail, being a competitor, supplier, and regulator, which they claim is threatening members' businesses, as the NNPCL allegedly denies IPMAN members' products arbitrarily. The association reeled out their concerns after an expanded meeting of the national officers, and they are worried that the development can lead to scarcity of fuel and PMS.
It is only in this country that you have the supplier, the provider, at the same time as a retailer. It doesn't happen in some other countries, because NNPC Retail is a limited company, like we independent marketers are. All our members are independent marketers. When NNPC want to go into limited, they're supposed not to put us under NNPC Retail, because they are a competitor. Even who knows whether they have been taking our product and selling it. Because when our product comes to them, you hardly get it. You hardly get it. So what is happening? So they are our competitor, and at the same time, our supplier is only in Nigeria that you can see that type of things. The government too should look into NMDPRA. We have a lot of bridging claims which is pending in NMDPRA. NMDPRA is getting money from NNPC, and NNPC is a limited liability company now. They have declared their profit, they have done their annual returns. So we expect that the money is with NMDPRA on this incessant increase in tariffs. NMDPRA is very funny of increasing tariff. It will discourage a lot of marketers who really want to come into the business. Because when you increase tariff today, tomorrow you come back again and increase tariff. So they should find something to it. And the one they have increased, they should call marketers, stakeholders to discuss on it. Because if not so, when stakeholders don't, cannot afford it, it will return to having the scarcity of products.
Away from that, the presidential spokesman, Mr. Bayo Nanuga, believes it was inevitable to go after cryptocurrency trading website Binance to save the Nigerian economy. He blamed the exchange for the arbitrary fixing of foreign exchange rates, which is antithetical in his view to the country's growth, and claims they have usurped the duty of the central bank. Mr. Nanuga, who was guest on our program Politics Today, says it's sabotage and needed to be checked.
The power market is an illegal market. I don't know why Nigerians, even the media, are feeding on the parallel market. That is not where we should go. What is the CBN rate? As at Friday, the rate for the dollar, in fact, on Thursday was at 1.5. I think on Friday, according to the CBN website, it was at 1.6. So if you look at the exchange rate, even in the so-called parallel market, the exchange rate is stabilizing there, and that's what this country needs. Our economy is too much dollarized. Importers are looking at the exchange rate and using it to fix prices. Some of them arbitrarily, some of them are actually profiteering. That is why the government moved against finance. Some people sit down using the cyberspace to dictate even our exchange rate, hijacking the role of the CBN. They just sit down and fix anything they like. And we were told, for instance, that if you don't clamp down on Binance will destroy the economy of this country. They just fix rate. They are trying to prevent that from happening henceforth.
Well, a lot of talking points. Let's go to core business now. The Afri-Exim Bank has said it has become the largest financier of oil and gas projects in Africa. The bank gave the disclosure at the ongoing Nigeria International Energy Summit in Abuja. According to the Afri-Exim Bank, it has invested $30 billion in industry projects, with Nigeria as one of the biggest beneficiaries, accounting for almost 60% of that money in total funding of the sector. And this is despite reduced global funding for hydrocarbon ventures in Africa. Outside our shores, U.S. Senate's longest-serving Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, has announced he will be stepping down from his leadership position in November. In his address to the Senate, the Kentucky politician said, in his words, "Time to move on." The senator has proven key to passing conservative priorities and electing Republicans to Capitol Hill, but has also faced off with former President Donald Trump in recent years and clashed with him over his election falsehoods. Let's talk sports now. A snapshot of results from the MPFL, where it was a big day for Plateau United, who recorded the biggest away win this season with a 5-1 victory over Heartland to move to second place on the log table. League leaders Lobby Stars went down to a 2-0 defeat against Sunshine Stars in Akure, but remain and retain their top spot, while Remo Stars dropped to the 4th position after a 1-0 loss to Rangers in Enugu. In other results, sports in Lagos were 2-1 winners over Akwa United. Bayelsa United defeated Doma 2-0, while Katsina United held on for a 3-2 win over visiting Kano Pillars. So, yes, that's what happened in the world of sports as far as MPFL is concerned, and that's exactly what the outlook and the stories we've been tracking for you from yesterday till today, as well as what we're looking forward to later on in the day. And Kadi joins me now to bring us, not me by the way. Okay, he's bringing me
I have something for you.
My technology to bring us what exactly is going on on the social media.
Jeffrey, there's a lot.
A lot.
Binance is it for a lot of people. The top trend for a lot of people is Binance, and that's understandable. The reports of 2 officials of Binance being detained because of course, we've heard the CBN governor talking about how much has gone through Binance in just 1 year, and how there needs to be some more clarity. We've seen this happen in other countries, the US and the rest. But watch how this plays out to give you the updates. But of course, following Binance or related to Binance and the rest is the Naira. That's top on the trend. I've lost count how many days the Naira has been topping the trend really in Nigeria.
It goes up, comes down.
That's what it should be. We spend the Naira here. So let's see what you're saying. Onifade Leo, that's the name on X. Onifade Leo has the first one on the show this morning about Naira, and says, good government, that's the presidency and governors, also need to tackle the fiscal side. We're not earning enough dollars to hold dollar banning alone, Dollar banning alone will totally eradicate inflation. Dollarizing Binance and BDC cleanup is just a fraction of what needs to be done. See, cocoa price is 5,680, he says there. So, a lot of people talking about this. What more do we have?
There's a lot going on as far as this Naira matter is concerned. So let's find out what the next person is saying. This is coming from Omekpa One of Kogi. Say, we pray the progress is continuous downward progression of the dollar. Okay, it's praying against the dollar. I wanted to understand that right. As Naira continues to gain momentum. So that's exactly what the gentleman is praying. Dollar go down, Naira come up.
Well, amen to that, absolutely. Prince Everest, but amen is not enough, of course. They're fundamentals to these things. Prince Everest is the next one. Says the way some of us look at this naira to dollar thing is funny. When dollar was 750 or when the rate was 750 to a dollar, things were expensive or costly, as the case may be. And dollar went from 750 to 1,900 and fell back to 1,400 to dollar. And you expect price of goods to come down when it's still ×2 of its initial, even at 1,400. So are you trying to tell us it will not come down? Please.
We do not know. Okay, this is coming from, this is coming from whiteworld_VP. That's the handle. Is fighting and winning. Whatever they are doing, they should sustain it. So that's exactly the encouragement is given to the monetary authorities.
I am Kelechio. Essentially contrasts what Prince Everest said earlier and says, as Naira is appreciating, I hope the cost of things will begin to reduce as well. There's some greedy sellers who will never agree they're done selling their old stocks, which they bought when dollar was 2,000. Well, it's a bit tricky there.
Let's take this one as quickly as possible. Eunice says, if it keeps falling down like this, our country will be better placed despite the current situation of the country. I just pray all things be well at the end of the day.
Oh, amen again. Success Man 50 re-echoes the question or the thoughts about the prices of things falling. And I think it's important to get a balance between doing business and doing what is right as well. I imagine a lot of business people thinking, oh, I need to make profit because I don't know how much it will cost when next I go to the market. But these are very interesting times and we need to be a bit more circumspect in the way we go about these issues. But it's not just the Naira that has been trending, Jeffrey. Third Mainland Bridge.
Yes.
Has also been a big topic. We talked about that when we started the show this morning. After reports of the closure of Third Mainland Bridge for 24 hours, a lot of people were wondering why. Why? This theory, is it because the president is visiting Lagos today? Well, they said, no, that's not the reason. It's obviously for repairs and the rest. But this is what you've been saying. Official Bishop has this to say about the Third Mainland Bridge, which we say call 3MB for short. Said the funds for Third Mainland Bridge maintenance alone for the last 10 years can give Lagosians the Fourth Mainland Bridge. Well, let me just say the Fourth Mainland Bridge is meant to cost $2.5 billion. So, hey, do the math. Have to spend $2.5 billion on maintenance of a Third Mainland Bridge in 4 years? Hey, but we get the point.
We get the point exactly. Sayo Modupe says the Lagos built for over 24 years only has one road, Third Mainland Bridge. Now it's been shut down for 24 hours. Everybody's blocked beyond bearable.
The alternative route.
The alternative route, but they did announce, so maybe they will apologize. They've apologized for the inconvenience, I guess so.
So Miriam Badmus given some travel advisory, that's for yesterday, by the way, telling people to essentially be mindful, try to plan their journey, and that's what we're doing for you this morning as well. So if you're going out, please be mindful, take all those road advisories serious, check the alternative route, and obey traffic laws. Maybe more important, or also as important, is be patient. Like, be patient. So Miriam Badmus has that one sort of an advisory. But let's go to the one from Stephen Oshonaike, shall we? Saying, imagine how companies are rushing to shut down business in anticipation of the horror that will happen. That was yesterday. So share with us your experience, trying to maneuver Lagos yesterday.
All right, just
#City Morning Break.
Yeah, exactly. Just before we run away, let's talk about the BVN and NIN controversy. Yes, this BVN NIN thing has been on for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's back again. It's one of the reasons why the NCC ordered the telcos to, bar numbers who are not linked to that particular network with their NIN. So Lulu Bisong says, what's this about linking NIN to account? The BVN is already linked to the accounts and NIN is linked to the BVN. So what's this? Again, data issues.
That's a question on the minds of a lot of people, and today is meant to be the deadline, 29th. And this next post is from
yesterday, actually.
From yesterday, 28th rather,
yes,
so it's meant to take effect today. Baby Gold 10 says, banks are asking us to verify our BVN and NIN in this Robodion. Robodion in Yoruba, Jeffrey, let me help you out.
Rishi, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's Robodion. Then ends by saying Rishi. So Robodion essentially says, things are a bit tricky. There's a lot happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Then Rishi, what do you think it means, Jeffrey?
I don't know.
Not food, because I know Rishi means
that's
food.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Rishi originally means Orishirishi means Orishirishi, really. It means things are happening. It's an expression in Yoruba like, things are happening.
Okay, so those are the thoughts we're tracking. Keep them coming. We'll now move on to other things on the show today. Remember, we're talking the economy. An influencer is coming through, two of them, the fashion designer, of course, as well as, that parfait. This is the king of parfait.
But that's not all, Jeffrey.
This is the king of parfait.
Blame my wife for that. She takes the blame. But also on the show, we'll be having the conversation with IPMAN. Recall what you reported earlier on, how IPMAN is not happy about the operations within that sector, saying essentially MPC Limited is a competitor and also some sort of regulator and the rest.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, and it looks like they're given an ultimatum. We don't want to go through queues yet again, so we'll find out from
IPMAN. In fact, what they are saying again is the fact that when you play in all the spaces, you may be favoring yourself ahead of other marketers. So we'll find that out on the show somewhere around within the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. So that's it for right here. Keep them coming. We'll be back after this break. Join us again. Welcome back. It's now time for us to start the conversation for the day, and it has to do with what affects all of us, PMS and all the spectrum of fuel that you go to the fuel station or filling station, whichever you prefer, to buy. And the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, they are raising a very major concern, and we want to talk about that concern, which is the fact that they are not comfortable with how the competitor, as they call it, the regulator, the NMPCL, is running things. They call it, they're creating a hostile environment for them. And this may lead to something the nation wants to avoid, which is why we're being joined on the program by the National Secretary of IPMAN, Mr. John Kekeocha. Mr. Kekeocha, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Let's begin with that immediate concern raised by your association. Even to some Nigerians, it's a bit confusing as to how to differentiate the NNPCL from the rest when they are playing that particular role. So, but you're a player in the industry. You should be able to explain to us and why this is now a major concern. Your concern is basically, from what the presser showed, is that they are the regulators, they are also retailers, meaning they are competitors, and because of that, is affecting maybe some level of transparency. Maybe you can explain what that means.
Hitherto, independent petroleum marketers are registered under the PPMC. And we had our regulatory conditions, we have the business engagement conditions. And later on, the PPMC now handed it over to NMPC Limited. We assume that those conditions we had before had to be carried along. But what you see now is a situation where marketers who pay in for products for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they will not get supplied. We get supplied mainly on PMS. Nobody talks about diesel and kerosene because we never get allocations to pay in or to load them. It is exclusively for retails. And if we go by our terms of agreement to go into this business, all of them have been violated. A situation where retail is the only company that brings in product into this country. They give to whomever they want to give. They first of all satisfy their outlets before they can consider some few marketers to give them product. It's not healthy. You cannot be the judiciary, the executive, and the legislator at the same time. We don't have anywhere to cry to. Many marketers are going out of business because they don't have products. Many marketers are going out of business because of very stiff regulatory conditions that retail has brought in through NMDPROA. An average marketer cannot afford to be in business this time because of the very stiff conditions that have been put into the system. Recently, we heard that by 10th of March, certain conditions have to be met by marketers. How can a marketer meet those conditions that amount to 4 or 5 million when you don't have product year in and year out? It's very embarrassing. The retail want to phase out IPMAN from the business so that they can take over, and that is not right. It is going to cause a lot of disaffection in the country, and it's going to create a lot of scarcity. Marketers, independent marketers, are meant to operate in the hinterlands. But most of these retail outlets are not in the hinterlands. If you go to the hinterland now, you find out that many marketers' stations are moribund. Many marketers' stations are closed down. It's not because they will to close them down. It's because they cannot get supplies. The conditions for this business are stifled to ease out IPMAN, and it is not proper. It is not proper. IPMAN has made several contacts with the government, complained about these very stringent conditions, and nobody is hearing them out. And we are sure in a very short period, many marketers will go out of business, and it will create a very lot of scarcity in this country. So IPMAN is, in our next meeting yesterday, cried out that government should come to our aid, interface with retail and IPMAN. Let us see a way out of this quagmire, because it's not comfortable, it's not interesting, and it does not give room for a good, healthy economic condition of this country. So IPMAN is asking government to step in, because we are no more comfortable with the business relationship we have with retail, unlike the one we had at the PPMC, where business was done, negotiations are normally done before some conditions of business are brought in. But right now, you stay at your home, you wake up in the morning, some stringent conditions that cannot be met are pushed on your neck, and you don't have anywhere to cry to. So IPMAN is asking the government to please intervene to ensure that there's a level playing ground for IPMAN to operate. Otherwise, IPMAN is thinking of what to do next, and it's not very comfortable for this economy and the country.
I mean, I fear to think of what that will be, but let's break this down even further. The government will say, over the past few years, with this new arrangement, we've seen lesser fuel queues, as we used to see in the past, the ones that will last for days, weeks sometimes, that will naturally throw the whole country into a precarious situation. So for proponents that say that, well, this system is working, they say, well, we have results to show for it, so we can't continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. So they back this current system and say, well, allow it to be this way as far as the people get petrol supply and we don't have the fuel queues we used to have. So for those who are saying it is working, how about you leave it that way? Perhaps this has fixed a major challenge we used to have in the past when we see days and weeks of queues. What do you tell them?
You cannot have people who have gone into engagement with you and drawn a business agreement, and you want to phase them out because you feel that only you can do that business. What are you going to do with the people? What are you going to tell the people? You simply come out and tell us to close our stations, you can operate on your own. You simply come and tell us that without us, the company can move on. But it's not proper, it's not good like that. You don't have queues, yes, government is bringing in products, but how many independent marketers are in the business? Retail has bought over many stations. Retail has crippled many marketers' outlets because they feel they can fill the gap. But that's not a good spirit of a business.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
But people spend all that live on. It is not proper. If they feel they can do this business, then they have to give marketers conditions or have to survive. So what we are saying is that if retail should interface with marketers and ensure that the level playing ground, even though we accept they bring in the products, they give the regulations, and they give products to the marketer, they should ensure that marketers, wherever they are, get enough products to operate equally. That you don't have scarcity everywhere in the country. It's not because that retail is doing their best. It's because of the bad nature of the economy. How many people in this country go into a filling station and fill their tanks? How many stations in this country have fuel? So we are saying that the government should come in, interface with the retail and independent marketer, so that the marketers can be in business. Marketers can put food on their table. There's nothing you can tell a man that built a station with millions of naira that because you can do it alone, then discuss him out so that you will think of another business. You cannot keep him in business. You are not giving him products. You stifle him with numerous stringent conditions. It's not proper. That's what we are saying.
Well, Mr. Kikiocha, I can feel, your pain even as you speak with much passion about, the concerns of independent marketers. And as a result, I imagine what those stringent conditions that you talk about are. But while you are articulating those stringent conditions that your association is complaining about, I'd like you to also speak to the concern, the view out there that government has actually reintroduced subsidy, however minimally, even though it has not come out to commit to having reintroduced subsidy, vis-a-vis the continuing challenges. If government has reintroduced subsidy, IPMAN, your association, is still complaining about these challenges and the stringent conditions. NATO, on the other hand, also shelved what would have been a strike that would have led to petrol scarcity just last week. So if government has intervened, covertly, why are we having these challenges? Who are those that have profited from the reintroduction of subsidy, if indeed government covertly reintroduced subsidy?
You see, before this introduction of subsidy, this man was on air, this man was shouting, this man was saying, please, 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 there are certain conditions you have to meet. There are certain conditions you have to put on the table before the subsidy, can flow. Of course, the government didn't listen. They went to help loan and they introduced subsidy. You cannot tell the people that subsidy you removed when dollar was 700 naira per dollar, that it is the same condition you are still operating now that the dollar is about 1,500. Government should come openly and tell the people that they have been introduced subsidy. The amount of money government pays in for subsidies now is higher than what they used to pay before. You cannot operate in a system that is not transparent and you feel everything will be okay. Everything can be okay. We have moribund refineries that can be put in place. We have over time heard that the Port Harcourt refinery is going to start, Port Harcourt refinery is going to start. What is holding it from starting? Nothing. Nothing is done there. The actions there are not enough to start producing products. Warri is almost dead. Nothing is happening in Warri refinery. If Warri refinery and Port Harcourt refineries are put in place and you introduce subsidy, it can flow without you going back to pay some amount, much more than what the previous government was paying. It's not proper.
All right.
There are certain things that must be done before this time comes. Now you have introduced subsidy. The product is still selling at 650 to 700 in some areas. And I want to tell you that they have given licenses to many people to import products. How can you import product at a rate where a product naira is 1,500 and the government is bringing product at 650 naira? It is misleading the people, telling the people what is not proper, telling the people lies.
All right, all right. Apologies, we're totally out of time. Mr. John Kekeocha. As Bukola said, we see your concern, and that's why we brought you to the program, so that what we read on the top stories can be further amplified by you, who is a member of the executive of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. But thank you for coming to the program. This is an ongoing conversation. We're going to check back on you and how this developed eventually. Mr. John Kekeocha is the National Secretary of IPMAN. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Guys, there's a lot he has said that we need to further probe. Yeah. But he's talked about the fact that government is not saying the truth, essentially, that subsidy has been reintroduced. There has been that suspicion, but governments across level, fiscal and monetary authorities, they've not come out to say anything in that direction. So these are the people in the know, and we're going to continue to find answers to this question. Maybe we'll get these officials of government to come and tell us what exactly is going on, because there's a lot in that sector that needs explanation.
Jeffrey, speaking of which, we have a Minister of Petroleum. You know, there was a lot of debate about why the president would retain that position, following the reconstitution of a cabinet under the new administration. So we have a Minister of Petroleum in the president. So perhaps we need to be asking the president these questions also.
Yeah, when we have the time, we should ask him.
Absolutely. But we're in a very tricky situation as a nation. We're still trying to get the energy security, which we talk about. We're still not refining crude at home. So a lot of our issues at home are imported. Whatever happens there, if some of these countries sneeze, if we have issues with the delivery chains, we'll have issues here. We've seen what's happening with the FX. So I know that there needs to be creative ways to approach this, but then how creative are we being without being authoritarian, without being anti-business, anti-investment? Those are the questions.
Exactly. Exactly, I agree with you. And that's going to form the major part of our next conversation. Interest rate, FX, and all of those gamut of how we can help fix the economy. We'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll have that conversation with the expert. Join us again.
Its first meeting of the year on the 26th and 27th of February 2024 to decide on the appropriate course of monetary policy going forward. All 12 members of the committee attended the meeting. Decisions of the MPC. The committee decided to further tighten monetary policy as follows. 1, raise the MPR by 400 basis points to 22.75 from 18.25%. 0.75%. Adjust the asymmetric corridor around the MPR to plus 100 to minus 700 from plus 100 to minus 300 basis points. Raise the cash reserve ratio from 32.5% to 45%. Retain the liquidity ratio at 30%. In the opinion of the committee, the options available for decision was to either hold or hike the policy rate to offset the persistent inflationary pressures. Some of these reforms include the unification of the foreign exchange market, promotion of a willing buyer and willing seller market, removal of all limits on margins for IMTO remittances, introduction of a two-way quote system, and the broad reforms in the BDC segment of the market to restore stability, enhance transparency, boost supply, and promote price discovery in the Nigeria Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, NAFEM. The committee reviewed the key financial indicators of the banking system and noted that the system remained stable.
Welcome back to the morning brief. Now we're switching gears, but really it's a related issue when you consider also that the petroleum industry is also dependent on foreign exchange, because we're still an importing nation. So that meeting by the managers of our monetary policy, the CBN, coming months after the last time, has drawn, quite a conversation, with many saying that increasing interest rate by 400% was an overkill. But some are even saying that that is not enough. But for those who are saying that it's an overkill, they're hinging their reasoning on the fact that, look, the Monetary Policy Committee meeting is going to hold again next month anyway, so the bank could have waited. But let's get this conversation going as we welcome Mr. Emeka Obiareri, a development economist and investment banker. Mr. Obiareri, good morning and welcome to the morning brief.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, so let's get right to it. So for you, 400 basis points, was it an overkill because the Monetary Policy Committee was going to meet again anyway next month, or is it inadequate, considering the circumstances that we find ourselves with Naira at 1,400 Naira to the dollar, but that's just a reduction now. It was pushing towards 1,900 Naira just a few days ago. What are your thoughts?
It's an overkill, and it will not achieve the objectives for which it was intended. And we know what they are trying to do. Basically, by raising MPR to 22.75%, what they are looking at is attracting foreign portfolio investors, hot money investors, to come in with dollar inflows to buy T-bills and to buy bonds, to enable them have some level of liquidity to cushion and stabilize the economy in the very immediate short term. And basically, of course, within the next couple of days, you will see $1, $2, $3 billion of FPIs coming in. It's hot money. There's nobody that you give money that will not lick it. Basically, what these FPIs will do is that they will bring in their dollar, drop it to the CBN, hedge it, and then buy T-bills. Of course, they will be getting most monies within their climbs at 2%, 3%, 4%. Maybe hedge it and they put additional 2% cost. And they will cream out massively from our economy. 6 months, they are out again. And we are back to square one. But basically, this thing also destroy productive activities in Nigeria. I want you to see this clearly. At the anchor rate of 22.5%, 22.75%, banks are going to write to current credit debtors in their books to increase their lending rates to at least 35, 36%. If you're already having 30% at the banks will write you. At minimum, they will add is 36%. Now, if a manufacturer already has finance cost of 36, 35%, inflation is 29.9%. The guy adds 29.9% inflation on top of his cost. We are approaching 70-something%. And the guy now also add the cost of energy, which is also high, and add the cost of administration. You will discover that his production cost is inching up to about 100%. So how much will he sell? The same inflation we are trying to tackle will still go up because prices of goods and services will still go up. The manufacturer is not a Father Christmas. He will price in finance cost that has gone up. He will price in inflation that is at 29%. He will price in energy cost that is going out of the roof. And at the end of the day, we will end up distorting the economy and stifling economic activities. Basically, they've tackled one issue, but they've created multitude of other problems. You saw Nestle report. Nestle in 1 year got wiped out. 195 billion naira foreign exchange losses. It's not as if they lost money in their operation. It's not as if they had corporate governance issues. It's not as if they weren't manufacturing. In fact, they actually added 5 other products to their line, brought in about 65 billion new investment into the economy. But one night, they got wiped out. And there is something these people are not saying. You know, the banks have returned trillions of naira profit. Questions should be asked in an economy that is hemorrhaging, and in an economy where you have thousands and millions of MSMEs declaring losses, going bankrupt. The banks are declaring trillions of naira profit. Now, questions should be asked. On the one side of the profitability, go and do serious audits on the books of the banks without covering things up. There are thousands and 10,000s of companies in the banking system that are carrying billions, millions of FX-related losses that they are even trying to see how they can trade out. Now, with this added cost to their business, I wonder how they will even survive with the already albatross on their neck, which is FX. There is no honest business in Nigeria today, apart from the banks that took long position, FX position, and that enabled them to cream out. That is not suffering. So what they have done is to actually provide temporary elixir to the foreign exchange issue. Let me tell you, the first month, the first week, the second week, we will have a little bit of stability in that market. But every other sectors of the economy is already hemorrhaging. We expected the CBN not to go on this kind of overkill. FPI should not be what we should be looking at now. We should be looking at how we can aggregate on the most comprehensive level, boost productivity, and ensure foreign diaspora remittances and foreign direct investment flows into this economy. What they've basically done here is to use a sledgehammer. In trying to kill the fly, they've broken the table.
Let's go further on this because I, as an economist, I'm sure you agree with them that this looks like a quick fix that is destroying things, because when interest rate is high, FDI comes in because we have liquidity problem in terms of FX, so they are trying to rein in as much as possible to balance that market. What would you have preferred to be the increase? Is it 100 basis? Is it 200 basis? What exactly would have worked so that everybody wins at the end of the day? Because they also agree that, you know, businesses will suffer in the short term, but in the long term, maybe businesses will do better, because when the cash reserve ratio is high, interest rate is high, it's good for FDI and FPIs, but it's not good for local businesses.
Let me tell you this straightforward. Even if we attract $20 billion into this economy today, if we don't tighten the leak valves through which our FX are drained out criminally, I'm not talking about honest transactions, those monies will be frittered away. There is something we are missing fundamentally. We are not having dollar illiquidity in Nigeria today because we did not have enough dollar inflow over the last 8 years. The fact remains, over the last 8 years, we had excess of $185 billion in this economy. I expect even you media men to do this research. When Buhari became president, he had $29 billion reserve, $20 billion unencumbered. They borrowed $32 billion. We had foreign diaspora remittance of $168 billion. We had export of $406 billion, $635 billion inflow. We only had outflow of $451 billion from the official channels, including even medical bills and school fees. Net, the naira and the dollar should have been trading at about 197 if there were no criminal leakages. And the criminal leakages is what we should be tightening. We are not going to be destroying honest economic activities when we are not tackling the criminal activities that even led to the speculative activities. And how do we cover the criminal leakages? We know, go and check trajectory. Once they receive FAC and JAC, it's only the political criminals in the system, those who are not into honest enterprises, that will buy dollar at any rate. There is no honest investor, honest manufacturer, like the Nestle's, like the Cadbury's, that will chase dollar at any rate because they will calculate the cost of production before even buying dollar.
Right.
How do we checkmate the leaking valve? Stop the criminal looting of our naira to buy dollar, which is almost 60%. Even if you tighten liquidity in the market and drain the real sector of the economy, how do you stop the over 45 trillion naira budget expenditure across the 3 tiers of government?
Right.
That 50 of them will be looted and used to buy dollar.
So let me come in here. Let's just add this to the conversation. And I'm going to that point which you just raised, but I'd like you to also factor this in. It was Mr. Taiwo Idele, who's chair of that committee on tax reforms and fiscal policy, that said that last year, the estimate from the World Bank for diaspora remittance was $20 billion for last year. But he says that findings show that 90% of that $20 billion didn't even get into the country. They were externalized, and they asked people how they send money home. They use apps and some of those platforms and the rest. So that's also a part of the conversation. The dollars, according to him, don't come into the country. It's only the naira that comes in while the dollar is externalized. So we're not really getting the inflow, even though people were sending money according to that data. Add to that what is happening with Binance, with the reports that 2 of their officials were detained. The CBN governor on Tuesday said $26 billion had gone through Binance in 2023 alone. And their sources, information about that, hardly known. So do you factor that in as well? How do you see that affecting the whole, interplay of FX and the economy?
Basically, what happened? Yemi Cardoso, to be very fair, by removing the band limit on IMTOs, by opening the two-way quote window, by liberalizing the market so that you can bring in your dollar at whatever rate you want, discuss with the banks and then collect your naira. He has actually stopped, what had been the reason why most people decided to go through other platforms. Before Yemi Cardoso became the CBN governor, of course, you knew what was happening in the market. We had, under the last regime, under Emefiele and Buhari, we had an atrocious arbitrage window between the official market and the parallel market rate of almost about 300 naira. And so basically, people were forced at the IMTO window to have a band of 2.5% based on the previous trading day closing price. So which does not make sense. Why will I bring in my dollar and I will exchange at official rate when I can actually go to other platform and get at the black market rate, which is about 300 naira more? So what Yemi Cardoso has done is to open up the market. Those people that, instead of moving their dollar through those other platforms, will now come into the official channel, which is very, very good. We will have inflows of dollar. That step he took was enough rather than going on this overkill. Basically, what we should be doing is, how do we protect the leakages? And we have said what they should do, and they know the truth. Executive bill to National Assembly, ban use of dollar cash in Nigeria. Anybody that has more than $1,000 at any point in time cash should be jailed 2 years without option of fine. Bring your dollar, exchange at whatever rate, good and fine. Put your cash into your DOM account. There should not be any outflow out of Nigeria that is not backed with documentary letter of credit. Digitally driven in such a way, it must pass through CBN platform. And it can be done within hours and seconds. But it must be documented. Basically, what happened was that we have $185 billion over the last 8 years that slipped out of the system. Not through the official windows captured by the CBN. They use it to go to Dubai. It's estimated that we have $18 billion worth of houses by Nigerians. How did they fund it?
But do you do you commend the federal government for this reported move on Binance? We're just winding down on that. We have 30 seconds. Do you think it's a way forward? The move on Binance?
Like I said, it's not the way forward. It's not the way forward. I will explain to you why I say it's not the way forward. I will be shocked to note that the Binance crypto exchange platform do not have accounts in Nigeria. And even when we talk about people doing PSP, nobody moves Nigeria into Binance platform without having an account in the Nigerian banking system.
Yeah.
And that is why we are begging. I was shocked to hear that there are over 28 million accounts in Nigerian banking industry without BVN or NIN or TIN linked to it. What the Central Bank of Nigeria should do is to make it compulsory. For you to open an account in the banking industry, you must attach your NIN, your TIN, and your BVN. When we do this, and if you look at even most of those who use Binance or other crypto platforms to launder money, actually the political bandits. An honest investor and businessman will not go and tie his money on cryptocurrencies when there are legitimate transactions that he can do to make money.
Which is why Nigerians are wondering why the CBN is saying that, look, they cannot trace those accounts, because statutorily, Nigerians should have a BVN and a NIN before they can have an account opened. There's so many legs to this conversation, whether or not the CBN, had consultations even with the fiscal side before they embarked upon this major policy decision. But we'd like to thank you very much, Mr. Nnemeka Obieri, development economist and investment banker. Thank you for your profound contributions on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and from monetary policy to influencing and fashion policy. When influencing and fashion meet, it's an awesome symbiotic relationship. We're going to be exploring the profits from that side. When we return from this break, you don't want to miss it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Can't just help it. You just have to say, stop playing. It's plenty.
Can I take it?
Your guess is as good as mine. We're about to get into that conversation which we talked about earlier on, where influencing meets fashion. Today on the show, we have two amazing gentlemen who are doing good, representing young people in Nigeria quite well. One of them in the fashion industry, the other one across board. Fashion, influencing, luxury items, autos, and the rest. So we have joining us on the morning brief this morning, Ojo Samuel. Ojo Samuel is, well, CEO OJ Clothing, is a fashion designer. Do you like when people call you tailor?
No.
But you're a tailor as well.
Yeah, I'm a tailor.
Or fashion designer, that has a ring to it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Good morning, welcome to the morning brief.
Good morning, sir.
And just right next to him is Ola of Lagos.
That's the only way.
That's the only way.
But
But in case you want to write a check, Olawande Waris is the day to write that check.
Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to the morning brief as well.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Goodness me, you guys are doing great stuff. But just to give a backstory to why we have both of them on the show this morning. So OJ Clothing, that's Samuel Ojo, is a fashion designer, and he clothes Ola of Lagos, if I'm correct. So you are responsible for what he's wearing today, if I'm correct. So speak to us about why you chose to do this. As I said, a lot of people think being a tailor, it's not what I want to do, really. I want to go into modeling, I want to be a tech person and the rest. But you are doing fashion, and you're clothing some of the most fashionable. We'll come to Ola of Lagos, because it's plenty naturally. But let's start with you. How did you get into this?
Like, I developed the interest while I was in secondary school. So I've always liked creating designs, like drawing. So when I finished secondary school, I learned tailoring around where I reside. So it wasn't easy then, because when you learn tailoring from all this local tailoring beside your house, all those kind of things here. So when I got admission, so I had to improve my skills, and I met a senior colleague that enlightened me more on it. So that was how the career started.
Boom. So how did you link up with Ola of Lagos? How did that happen?
I've known Ola of Lagos since 2019. He started doing his car stuff like 2020 years. So that time because I love cars. I love cars too. So I've always liked him, the way he used to. I love the way he used to carry himself, and the way he used to chase all those cars, shouting his plenty. So I DM'd him on Instagram then. I DM'd him. So he was doing one giveaway. So I supported him. I had to support him then. So that was how our friendship began.
And here you are. That's why it's important to don't wait for people to blow, right? Before you sort of.
I loved him from the beginning.
You saw the future before people did.
I saw it on Today's not post. Yes.
And that was it.
Yes.
Ola of Lagos. How are you doing, by the way?
Fine.
Is it really plenty?
I joke, Seb.
Talk to us about your fashion sense. You call yourself the king of luxury, and look at you. Goodness. I mean, this was done by OJ as well.
Yes,
so you essentially wear all of that. So talk to us about your fashion sense. How do you decide what to wear, why to wear? We see what you're wearing this morning. So how do you make those decisions, really?
How do I even start? I love luxury as a whole, anything luxury. And I love to look good. I love to smell good. I love to look at my nails, I think I feel embarrassed quickly, I don't know. When I approach you, I would like to be welcome. When I smell good to you, I look good to you, you definitely welcome me. And as this boy from the slum, I have that big dream to reach these people or at the top. You have to look good, look like them, try to fit in. So I'd be like, okay, let me start dressing good. And I look up to people that dress good, like the likes of Lee Baby, Davido, Whiskey, Burna Boy, anybody that dress good. I just look at them, so they motivate me. So from scratch, I've been dressing nice, with my okrika.
I like that. And even your shoe, look, it's plenty.
That's good.
Your shoes. Ola of Lagos, you have an amazing personal story. It is said that you came to Lagos with nothing, no home.
Yes.
You were once a bricklayer, you were once a cleaner. And in fact, I chanced upon one of those pictures and I was like, amazing. So did you envision this while you were in Lagos as a young chap cleaning, bricklaying? Did you envision this luxury lifestyle? And when you look back, at that time of your life, what comes to your mind? How do you feel?
I feel good, I feel grateful, I appreciate God. I tell God, thank you, and the fact is that I haven't even started, I have a very long way to go. So I'm so focused, determined, and, consistency, So, I won't lie to you, when I was doing the cleaning, the labor, the everything, I know it's going to be like this one day, someday, but I don't know it will be this quick. It is not quick, actually, from 2019, 2020, 2021. I just keep doing my thing, despite the criticisms, the hate, from here and that. I just tunnel vision. I just keep going. I don't know where God is taking me, but I know He's taking me to somewhere. I just keep doing my thing, and what keeps me going is passion. I love luxury. I love cars. When I see cars, I just pursue. You know, sometimes I even pick bike without having no cash in my pocket. At the end of the day, I ended up fighting with bike man. I go pay you, borrow money to just pay. You know, just to chase the car and just film with my old phones. Then, you know, just it's passion. Just pursue whatever you love. Just do it.
Share with us your turning point. What was your turning point?
What do you mean by my turning point? What do you mean? What do you mean my turning point?
Okay, when things turned for you, your big break, when it happened.
Okay. Was it not 2021 when people started posting me like, who is this crazy boy? Just pursue car. Who is this again? You know, that is like a niche. I find my niche, you know, and who be this boy? You know, we've never seen such. You know, no one is doing what I'm doing. Nobody pursue car in Lagos. You know, there are people that love cars, but they just like, oh wow, I love that guy. You know, but me, I started like chasing the car. You know, pursuing cars. Like, hey, I love this. So I just keep pursuing car, and I'm like, one day I'm like, I need to start posting. And I opened my Instagram. I started putting on Instagram, just Instagram. I just put it. Before you know, there was a day I wake up where I was in my cleaning. I just wake up, carry my mop, carry my bucket, then clean the floor. While I was cleaning, I was just saying, poop, 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 poop. Like my phone was just vibrating. I was like, what happened? 15 like, wow, 15 like. And I was amazed, like, oh, like, and I went to check my notification. I see that, oh, somebody posted me. Supercars of Nigeria. Oh, thanks to him, that was the first person who posted me, you know. And I was like, wow. Then after a while, I keep posting. Another time, I saw Tunde Not, our father, God bless him, my respect, you know. He posted my stuff, though he didn't tag me. And I was like sad that day. I was like, oh, but I just keep posting. Another time, he tagged me. I ain't followers someday, so that is where this stuff started, you know, coming in. People like, Allah, will you advertise to us? You already started to get known. You are getting known, you know. So can you advertise for us? You know, my first advert ever was it not 2,000 naira? That guy called me that day. But you know, first thing I do, I ask him, can we do video call? You know, let me see your store. Let me see what it look like. Let me see if you are legit. First thing, I don't even have any experience in hard advertisement or whatever, but let me see your stuff. Let me, you know, and I video call. Okay, you are legit. No problem. Let's go. Pay the 2K. The guy ended up paying 5,000 naira.
2,000 naira.
Yes,
urgent 2K.
So the guy ended up paying 5,000 naira to my account. I was like, wow, me that I earn 17.5 monthly, earn 5K
additional.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I love this. And that gave me the, you know, the inspiration, the courage that encouraged me to keep doing, to keep pursuing my stuff, you know. Despite the comment, people be like, oh guy, get a life, you don't have a life, you don't, people are making money, you are pursuing their car, you are this thing, you are that. I just like, oh, no problem, I will give up. You make her give up, I will give up. But that moment, I'm like, I already plan to give up. If I should hear, oh, I will pursue again. So I think it's passion. It's what I love. So
all right, we're going to stay on the big break. I remember a friend of mine was saying, he said the first time he saw 5 million naira in his account, he couldn't sleep for 2 days for his own money. So talk to us about the moment you saw your first millions. Okay. I'm sure you've seen a couple of them.
Yes.
What happened? This is you 17.5, the guy from the slum, 17.5, and now, boom, you see the alert. Walk us through that moment, exactly how it happened.
Okay.
You may not call the name of all the amount, but I'm sure it's a million.
Yes, my first million. Okay, actually, you mentioned earlier that you get to know me where I posted giveaway, like I want to sponsor giveaway. So, you know, when you are from the slum, when you have been through a particular something, you can relate, you know. I've been through the struggle, so I know how it feels. I'm like, oh, this internet, there are a lot of people that are struggling on here, sick people, you know, they need it. There are a lot of needies on the internet. So I'm like, what can I do to these people? And I don't have money, I can't help. Then what can I do? Okay, let me put up a giveaway. Then I'm trending, like I started trending. People are posting back to back. So I posted like, if you want to sponsor, blah, 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 blah. People start sending me DM. Hi, Ola, can I sponsor? And in return, I will tag them, like follow this also person. That is where I get to know OJ. I just saw his DM that day. Hi, Ola, send your account. He supported me with 100,000. I was like, wow, 100K? 100 freaking K? You know, thanks to him, you know, he really contributed a lot to mine. So I can't joke with him. I don't joke with him. So other people contributed as well, 5K, 10K, I got everything. it was like 1.2 million, something or more. I feel like I made it for life, like 1.2 million. Though it's not my money, you know, but at least I can still do maybe like 700,000 giveaway, then 500K to my pocket, because I work in gathering this stuff. So I did 700,000 giveaway, then I share money to people and all, and I kept the 500K to my pocket. I use it to feed, buy clothes. Then I used to wear slippers to review, to do my stuff, you know. Then I started buying shoes, buying my Katangua Okirika, you know, started. Then there was a day Tunde not wanted to do his followers, stuff. So it was like when he reached a particular amount of followers, he will do 2 million naira giveaway. Then he did 2 million naira giveaway, and I was lucky to be the winner. You know, so that was my. So that man contributed immensely to my success. So Tunde not. God bless you, sir. So that was my first million from the giveaway. Then my million from Saturday North. So thanks to them.
Amazing. Yeah. OJ, let's come to you now. The work you do. If you were to advise young people, because the essence of this conversation again is to present success stories to young Nigerians, Ola of Lagos and you, and then essentially give them the right tools they need, maybe a mindset. We know that he is energetic. He follows what he believes in, even when people are saying it doesn't make sense, get a life. And we've seen what has come out of it. But for you, what has been that driving force? If you want to speak to a young Nigerian who's thinking, will I make it? What do you think they should do to help them make it?
If I want to speak to a young Nigerian, I will, my main advice for them is to just go into entrepreneur.
Really? Because, all of this wearing suit and white collar.
No, I can't just. Everyone can go into collar job, like saying you want to become a banker, you want to become we have to go into entrepreneur, because if you check most of the richest people now in the world, they are fashion designers. Like the owner of LV, the owner of Louis Vuitton is still LV, Gucci, all of them. They are fashion designers. They own, they are like a group of, they are like a family. Yeah. Yes, because you can't just, I'm not saying there's money only in fashion. No. There are a lot of business you can do where you can make money. But youth need to go into entrepreneur. But they should go to school also, but they should just venture into entrepreneur, maybe by learning handwork, stuff like that. That's my only advice.
Sorry, can I support that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You said by learning hard work. That is true. Let me tell you, sir, I believe when I was still in my village, my hometown, I believe
Sorry, whatever. What village is that? Okay. Tell us.
Owodeyewa, Ogun State. Not really village, but town.
You're from Ogun State?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Sure. So I'm like, okay, this still law of a thing, you can take it to another level. You can take cleaning to another level, I promise you. I don't believe in, I don't believe in no. I'm telling you, I'm a billionaire in dollar. Say that to yourself.
I'm a billionaire.
Are you saying, okay, you are professing it, you get the mindset.
Yes,
the mindset.
Say it to yourself. So you can learn anything, literally anything, whether no be person this so for Tinubuni. Yeah. So you can take it to another level. It's all about mindset. As long as you are aiming for that thing, sir, you will get it. To be very honest, as long as you are aiming for it, it might take time. And if you die in the process, at least you try. Yes, but strive. Somewhere today, you remember last one said he's a billionaire in dollar. By then, you're a billionaire in dollar.
You can put this on record.
So, Ola Lagos, I want you to tell us what your net worth is. Okay. I know that's not going to come, smooth sail. Okay. But while you reflect on it, OJ, I'm sure that Ola's billions or millions, have trickled down to you because he has, credited you for part of his success story.
So even just the support is like,
I imagine that.
So many ways.
I imagine that you'll be making clothes for the big men. So what would you say to people who will be like, he's making clothes for Ola of Lagos? No way, I can't afford him. So what would you say to them?
People on Ola of Lagos page, most people on his page, they will know if he's wearing something, he's wearing luxury. So they should know if they want to come for me, they must have money. But people that don't, people that are just saying maybe they can't afford the clothes, the Ola of Lagos is wearing the clothes. If they can't afford it now, they will afford it later. It's not compulsory for them to afford it now. But they can't afford it.
They should slide into your DM.
Yes, now because things are very expensive in this country now. Things are expensive. So it's not that the clothes is like expensive. It's not expensive, but people that will afford it. Yes, not everyone can afford it. Yes, but people that will afford it will afford it.
Let's come to your before we begin to wrap up. I know that
the net worth question.
No, I don't know whether you want to answer that question. Whether you want to say how much you have, whether you're comfortable saying it, but if you have, fine. FRS does not listen. But by the way, I wanted to add to that question so that we wrap up. Is the issue that you had with the man who reviews private, when you review that private jet?
Okay.
Maybe walk us through how that came to be and how you were able to resolve it, because you were trending. Literally, I don't know whether you call it, okay, somebody like this noticed me. What was that moment like for you? Because there's a big guy in the industry.
Yeah, actually. You know, there's this thing I was telling my bro earlier that I reminded him. I said, you don't know people's story. That's why you need to be good to everyone. I managed to I don't know how to put it. I managed to escape being an illiterate based on the school I went to. We speak Yoruba, speak language, you know. So I trained myself to do that.
Languages are good, by the way.
Yeah. So all this knowledge of everything, I just have I love it. I don't really know much about it, so I need to study. But now, no, I know a lot about, but we are still studying, So when he made the video, then I was like, oh, I saw the video the night before that day. Somebody shared me, Abujaka, my friend, So when I saw the video, I was like, hey, this will go trend tomorrow. I was in Ghana. When I wake like this, by everywhere, back. It taps in my DM, God don't cash it. God cash your part. God don't cash it. This and that, Calm down, comrade. So when I saw the video, I was like, oh, well, thank God, at least. I know I have fans abroad here. People text me from UK, everywhere in the country. Like, Ola, we love your stuff, we love your shit, we love your... They give me advice, you can review this, review that. So I'm like, wow, Mr. Steve saw my video. That's nice, that's a good thing. I didn't feel bad. But I felt bad from people's. I'm like, why will you have this kind of mind towards me? This is how my mind is. I'm very plain, Why will you be hating? You don't need to hate. You can just be like, Allah, do your research, do your stuff. And that video has been long, And that price, don't be me determine price. Nah, basically wants to just say, okay, this is the price I'm selling my this thing. This is what you should put it to. Yeah. It's my work. As long as it's legit, I'm not promoting a scam. That is what you want to sell. Is this and we sell it. Person don't even buy them, I'm very sure. So that is, I just feel like, okay, fine. This is a stepping stone. I just need to work harder. I need to work more on my this. Yes. I need to learn more, go deeper, do my research. So
did you guys talk? Did you talk with Steve?
Yeah. I sent him a DM like, oh, Shaman, this, and he was like, oh, sorry, we are just cashing crews. We didn't even mean it or this, but we work in the future. We are going to what was the number, and we started talking.
Beautiful. So from that came an opportunity,
Yes.
And it's important to always learn from things. When criticisms come, you take them, in good stead. But I'd like to ask you, some of the measures of government also affect young people.
Yes.
Recently we've seen what happened with Binance, the restrictions. I know this is a sector which you also play as well, crypto and the rest. And I wonder, when you heard about Binance and with this recent one, how did you take it in? Because I know a lot of people store assets on crypto. So how are you handling that? Maybe as a young Nigerian, government can take a lead from this. How did you handle all of these restrictions and stuff around Binance and the rest?
Actually, currently I don't have my money in crypto. Yeah, but I know a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends, family that have their money stored in crypto. If government can help us look at it and leave the ban or whatever, it will be good. Because the country is tough. I won't lie to you, it's tough. What we're buying for 10 naira is now 30 naira, 14 naira. Everywhere is tough, Now you have to stay very safe. Hold your phone tight, be careful, just stay safe. Everybody people want to be successful before, but now people want to eat. Government should please do something to eat. They should please. So it's really affecting us, everybody, literally, everybody. So that is it.
And your net worth?
My net worth? we are trying. Yeah. We are trying for ourselves. Yeah. We are trying for ourselves.
That's a typical humble.
We are trying for ourselves, but God will still do more.
$1 million, $2 million.
Amen. Amen. You too.
Because you have an auto business.
Yes.
You still do all of these luxury things.
Yes.
So naturally, you get a lot of inflows, right?
And sure.
You understand why a lot of people want to know, but it's okay. You don't have to share with us.
For people that want to know, let me tell you something. The higher your net worth, the higher your level, the higher your money, the higher your bills, your problem. The money is coming in, bills won't buy us for Lagos. Car maintenance, streets. Master, I spend money. Street before you know the key gone. Fame comes a lot, so people need to know.
Right.
The expenses is crazy.
What about your family? How are they handling this fame?
My family, I love them. You know, my family, they understand when they call me and I didn't pick. They understand this guy is busy. He's busy. I'm only free in the night. I don't even sleep. I promise you. I slept last night 12 after 12. I wake by 3. I don't sleep. I don't know if it's insomnia or whatever, but I don't sleep. I just walk, you know.
Yeah. And you're a young person, by the way. I believe you're under 30, right?
Under 30.
Under 30, or you're above 30 now?
I'm not even 25 years yet.
You're not 25
How old
yet.
are you? Yes,
amazing.
How old are you? Almost 25. Though it's not really young. Let's just 25.
Approximately.
Okay.
So
we're totally out of time.
Yeah,
we're totally out of time.
And as we wrap up, I'd like you to address young people. There are a lot of young people who are disillusioned by the current economic situation. They believe that government has not done right by them. But here you are, a young person with an amazing success story. So I'd like you to speak to them. And while you're doing that, I would like to hear, stop playing. It's playing.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay, everyone, you know what you just do is that just stay focused. And I don't know, wherever not be today, economy will be like this, just try and leverage on the economy, stuff. I don't know how to really address it, but just keep going. Don't let the economy or whatever get to you. Just keep pushing, keep manage whatever. Even at 1 naira it is, even at 3 naira it is.
I think you should be speaking to this camera so that they will see.
Even at 3 naira it is spent before, manage 2 naira with the family. Understand? You get out of the country, we manage. We go skate through in Jesus' name. Inshallah. Amen.
So I need to talk about what you're wearing and tell us it's plain.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm wearing? I got it from OJ Clothing, We are located in Lekki on the island, but we can deliver nationwide and even other countries, plenty. And I must say, you guys speak good. I envy that. I'm not a Saudi
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. All of Lagos.
So quite an
OJ Clothing, we have to thank you so much. Absolutely enjoyed this. We should do this again. Well, thank you very much and wish you the very best.
It's plenty.
So it's plenty, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go to break now. When we return, yes, we've had a lot of fun with Ola of Lagos and OJ Clothing, but we'll talk about that all-important conversation around food. Yes. Stay with us. It's the morning.
All right, we're back to that moment we've been talking about from the very beginning, talking about parfait, what exactly it is and what it is not. That's why we're being joined by the man who has all the answers. Chef Gibbs joins us right here on the program. Chef Gibbs, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
We've been fasting for this moment.
And we're about to break our fast.
So let me begin with maybe it's a funny question.
Okay.
People have all kinds of versions of parfait. I want to make parfait, do this. What exactly is not parfait? So that we establish what it is not, then we'll go to what it is.
Funny story. I've never really liked the concept of parfaits because I just felt it was something that was sort of bastardized in Nigeria, and a lot of people have their variations, just like you've just rightly said. So what I would like to call mine today is a yogurt bowl, right? And so yes, it's similar to a parfait because what a parfait is basically you're layering stuff. So you can even have a parfait of a cake, you can have a parfait of ice cream, you can have it with different things, but you're basically layering stuff with interesting items. So with us here in Nigeria, we use yogurt. So you were supposed to use like a Greek yogurt that has the consistency to hold the things that you're layering with. So you have like this beautiful white layer of yogurt, you have fruits, you have maybe nuts, another layer, you just keep layering, it looks really beautiful, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So stop using pap to make parfait. It's not parfait.
Well, people are being creative. So yeah.
I'm just joking.
So what's the ideal consistency or thickness, for better word, that the yogurt has to have? Because I'm often confused if I want to make parfait myself. How thick should my yogurt be?
Okay, so if you go to the market and purchase like a very authentic Greek yogurt, you're very good. You're good. So because the yogurt has that thickness that is required to hold, like I said, the fruits or the condiments, the things that you're using to layer with. So for those people watching and want to try it out, just go to an authentic store that sells Greek yogurt, and you'll have it. So it's thick enough, it's not watery, it's You want us to try it?
So let's see a demonstration.
Let's see a demonstration.
Yes.
So as you're doing this, I just want to walk through all of the things you have on your shoulder.
Yes, please go ahead.
Culinary Arts Practitioners Association of Nigeria Vice President. Then I could see the Kitchen winner season 2, Taste Quest winner, Guinness World Record Culinary Director Hilda Bassi, cooking, that's Cookathon.
Yes.
She did, and I can see Feed the Kids Vice President as well. So you literally wear a lot of badges on your shoulder.
Which utensil you have here?
So that's what also separates us. When you're working with chefs, you know that some things will look fancy.
Now I got this at home, right?
No, but if you don't have my glassware at home, please, by all means, use what you have. I'm happy to give this to someone in the studio today.
There you go.
There you go.
You don't get the buffet, you get the container.
Would you prefer the container? You leave the buffet for me.
I want to start a fight.
You guys will do the buffet, I'll really observe.
But speak to us. People say this is maybe elitist. Is there a way you can do buffet on a budget as well?
Oh, absolutely. So that's what we're doing today, because the brief that I got to come on the show today was something on the budget.
Beautiful.
Something that you wouldn't need to cook.
Right, and then you don't need to break the bank.
Exactly. So we've gotten a very simple yogurt that you'll find in any store in Lagos.
This is Greek yogurt, right?
This is Greek yogurt.
So it's similar to Greek yogurt, but it's not like, so you know with where we have grades of beef, for example, there's like a grade A. So like grade A, there's grade this, grade that. So with this is good yogurt. It's widely used in restaurants in Lagos.
Okay.
But it's not like a very thick Greek yogurt.
So is it sweetened?
No, it's not.
It's not.
And that's why I bought honey.
Okay.
So I'll sweeten it. A few people wouldn't mind this plain on its own. So you can have that plain on its own. You don't need to sweeten it. But honey does a bit of magic to it.
Because when yogurt is not sweetened, for some of us who have sweet tooth, it's a no-no for us.
But that's the thing about yogurt. Yogurt is fermented milk, right? So there are times where you don't even add sweetness to your milk when you drink it. So why do you drink it without sweetness?
So I know that in cooking and in doing all of this, the quantity of whatever you're mixing has to be at a certain level, or you just keep pouring on till your ancestors say stop. Or there's a meal that you have to add.
Yeah, so as you cook, you start to get used to stuff, right? That ancestors analogy is actually not far-fetched, right? You start getting used to stuff, and there's something like cooking by eye. You know what to put, but for reasons, you have a reason why. For example, I'm putting the honey here to soften the yogurt, but to also sweeten it. So you want to taste and know that, okay, I'm fine with this, but I know what I want, and I know when it's ready. So I'm okay with what I've put in already. And when you taste it, you will agree with me.
So it's basically what you want. If you want it to be sweeter than this, you can add more.
Exactly.
So it's your taste.
If you want it to be like what you like, you can add it. So let's start with...
So you see what I was saying about the thickness of your yogurt from the start. This is different from what you usually find when you purchase a Greek yogurt.
It's not as thick as this, right?
It's thicker than this, actually.
Okay, yeah. If you, like I said, if you're using a Greek yogurt, but you will see how this would also hold, and that's why I didn't put a lot of honey, for example, because
is it breakfast on a budget, or when do you eat yogurt? Morning, afternoon, evening, or anytime?
You can eat in the morning. You can eat in the morning.
I do mornings, actually.
You can absolutely eat it in the morning.
It's a bit light, and then you can just...
So I have some dried fruits here.
Right.
This is basics, but if you want to do a standard, what is a standard?
So that's the thing. That word standard, what does that mean? So standard is the right way to do stuff. So when we're saying on a budget, it can also be standard, right? So you're basically just making sure it looks pretty.
What is this?
So it's dried fruit. So it's mangoes. Okay, this particular one is mango.
Okay. Looks more like dried plantain.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like mango.
So it's basically dehydrated.
Interesting. So a lot of people are used to their buffet having bananas, apple, strawberry.
Which is why I was asking that question: what it is and what it is
so it's
not.
basically what you want.
So it's basically what you want, really. So a few people are allergic to nuts. So would you then say it's because you didn't put nuts in your parfait or your bowl, it's not standard? Do you understand? So it's yogurt, which is the base. And with cooking, there's always something that is the base.
What I like is this glass.
Of course, that's why I brought it.
So bad you can't chew it.
So, Chef Gibbs, parfait, you say you can have it as breakfast, but for some,
it's not enough,
some
right?
who have healthy appetite.
Okay.
It's like dessert now. Like a.
Well, if you eat too much, just tell the gentleman.
No, I don't eat too much.
I eat a lot.
Jeffrey, don't
this
go
is
there.
not going to work for me.
Like a 5 liter
I need
bowl.
like 5 meter.
Jeffrey, don't go there.
5 liter bowl to be able to.
Don't go there.
So let's get a knife.
So don't go around the corner. Come straight. Let's know where to hold you.
This is just a small portion of what you should have, for breakfast.
So he's dicing the apple now. So we need to have apple, and this aside the dried fruits. I'm already
yummy, yummy. That's why I told you to get your spoon so you can get a scoop via television. I don't know how that will work. I don't know how that will work, by the way. So maybe another thing you can do as you're watching is to prepare your own. Maybe have that yogurt in your fridge. And you have, what's that thing called?
So you have dried fruits. You can use anything. You can use raisins. You can use nuts, just like you said.
So the bottom line is that what makes it parfait is perhaps the yogurt.
It's the yogurt. So, and remember what we said in the beginning. You can use anything as your base for a parfait.
Okay.
You can. He mentioned pap, and he said don't use pap. And I dare say, if you want to, please go ahead.
Okay, how does that work?
So instead of using yogurt, you're using pap.
Yeah, and you can sweeten your pap, by the way. Either by adding sugar.
So milk can come.
You make it Nigerian.
Honey. And you can also add milk, and you'll have the consistency that the yogurt also offers. And that way, you're promoting the local industry for those who make.
And I know that's the conversation now. Food security, food sustainability. You are looking inward because you need to start growing what you eat. That's part of what we're preaching as well.
By the way, yogurt is made in Nigeria, a lot of it as well. So
yes,
also buying
a lot of people make their yogurt homemade. So,
I want to shift this so that it's clear.
So guys, I have this theory, right? It's not a theory. I'm trying to go deep with food.
Okay.
So there are different ways to make parfait, right? So it essentially means that there's no one way to be perfect. You can be perfect in your own way, because parfait is essentially perfect in another language. So my guys are carried away with food. They didn't even get what I said.
I'm just doing the final drizzle.
This is why we're here. Leave your rhyme.
I'm doing a final drizzle.
Some people are waiting for the wrap-up time so that they can have breakfast.
I'll keep that for another
Someone
time.
standing right beside me.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm all right.
Am I right?
I'm all right. So I'm going to do just like this. Put it back here.
This is another way to
this is like
consider
we call
parfait,
it
because the parfait
plating. This is what cupping.
You could call it plating.
All right.
So I'm done with this,
ladies and gentlemen,
and there you have it.
Some parfaits usually have more fruits than this.
Oh, absolutely. For me, I don't like too much fruit in my parfait.
Okay.
Because I like to appreciate the yogurt.
Okay.
Because I think that's the main part of what the parfait should be. And anything else they're adding to it is just to excite it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So let's talk about the health impacts of parfait. How important is it? How often should it? Because I don't know. How many times do you take parfait in a week?
Come on.
I want to put you on.
By our account, right?
Yeah, by our account.
By our account, like
you guys
3 times in a week.
How many times do you take parfait in a week?
No, you guys do it for me, because I see that there's an attack.
No, I love asun. I'm a traditional man.
Right. So parfait, well, my wife ensures I get it 3 times a week.
See what we're saying.
At least. Yeah. But I love what you were doing.
No,
talk to us about the health
No, before that, I know he wants to run away. So it's 3 times okay, or what is too much and what is not okay?
I think the conversation around parfait really started, and for me, I approve it because it's an excuse to sort of augment your diet. So you would not find everyone eating fruits every day. If I ask everybody here now, when was the last time you
eat fruit every day?
You eat fruit every day. And that's by choice, right?
Yes, by choice.
It's not because it's a common thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so you want to, as chefs, part of our job is to find exciting ways to make these things a regular diet for everyone. And this is one of those ways. So if you have parfait in the morning and at night, parfait can be dinner for some people because you don't want to eat something heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah. It works because the fruits itself can add that roughage, heavy elements. You know, like you said, it might not be too filling for some people, but it might actually, with the amount of fruits that you add to it.
That you desire.
Yeah, it works.
Now, what would you say to some people who would say, parfait as dinner, and I'd like to at least, you know, fill up at night time, and I don't have enough to buy the amount of fruits that I need for my parfait. How can I have a parfait on a budget?
Well, basically, like we said, so you want to use fruits that are accessible. So anything works, really. Any type of fruit works. You're basically balancing flavors, and you're working with colors as well. So any fruit works. So if what you have is oranges, you make it look pretty.
Oranges and parfait?
If that's what you have, yes.
Okay, I'm trying to walk around.
So what exactly is the challenge for you?
I don't know, the taste of orange is a bit acidic, and this is sweet. The parfait, even if it's not sweetened, so I'm wondering how that combos.
Yeah, so sweet, acid, it balances.
Okay, positive and negative.
So you should balance it. I feel like ratatouille right now, just imagining all of this. But it's
because that's what cooking is really. So you added something sweet. So the yogurt itself is tangy. You know, we talked about that earlier. So if you don't want to sweeten it, maybe it's sour for some people. But that sourness is the type of sort of like, a bit acidic nature of the yogurt itself, and you sweetened it with honey. And so yes, adding a bit of citrus to it isn't a bad.
So maybe I'll do this on weekend, because like 5 days a week I have to do fruits, and then if I add this to the weekend, not a bad.
Yeah,
Chef Gibbs. Amazing work.
Who's gonna try it?
We're gonna try it soon.
This is the king. This is. I leave it to both of them.
Okay, if you insist, you're forcing me to do this.
I leave it to both of them.
You're forcing me to do this. I really don't want to do this, but if you guys
No, we don't insist. You get the utensil.
I'll get the utensils. No, I won't get the parfait. I'll prefer the utensil.
You know, it's quite interesting. I timed the process.
Yeah.
Less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Yeah.
So what are the other meals that we could do quick? Because obviously this is very quick. You can get this done.
So
10 minutes, you're good.
If you don't want to cook, you don't want to turn on the gas, or you're trying to save the environment by not burning fuel all the time, you can do a lot of no cooked. So there's overnight oats, for example. That's pretty interesting. You can keep it overnight. It's going to be ready. We have wraps, like sandwiches, but they're like shawarma, but this time you're using like tortilla breads, and you can use like different things. Oh, you like wraps?
Why are you making us hungry?
Bro,
yummy!
Another time, if we have like a long show, we just have like different items.
No, we're going to bring you back.
This is a dessert for taste. So I just have a little taste of things.
No problem.
So the producer, I'm sure she's listening, our producers. So we're going to bring you back to give you a lot more time to do all the things you love to do, because we just have to do this breakfast on a budget. Kayode and Bukola will taste this. I'll keep the utensil.
I really don't want to do
guys,
this.
I'll keep the utensil.
Guys, it's amazing that we have a male chef, by the way. It's not always that you see a male chef. So you get that attention.
This conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
This conversation, the history of the culinary arts in the world globally was actually dominated by men. There used to be a time when men didn't allow women come into the kitchen, the professional kitchen. But that's changing. Now, even the president of my association is a powerful woman that runs a culinary school. So it's changing.
There you go.
It's changing.
So there you go, Jeff. So you go to the kitchen tonight.
Yeah. No, I go to the kitchen.
Let Mrs.
Have I cooked afang soup? Afang soup. That's one of my favorite soups. So you need to see my
Jeffrey, I'm getting hungry.
Is this a point where we taste it now?
Please go ahead.
Why is our producer rushing us?
So ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to taste this masterpiece. So what we have here is parfait. Chef Gibbs' way, at least one of the plenty ways.
You can call it a yogurt bowl.
You prefer yogurt bowl.
All right, so guys, thank you so much. Chef Gibbs, we must thank you.
Thank you.
And you have to promise us right here on live TV that you're going to come back as soon as we call.
Absolutely.
By that time, we're going to give you a lot more time.
Kayode
so that you can
and
do.
parfait, inseparable.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Okay. So that's proof there that Kari is a parfait king
take it.
on the morning brief.
Here you go.
Here you go.
We have just a bit of information just before we wrap up.
The president. Yeah, while he's eating, Chef Gibbs, just hold on for a minute. While he's eating, the president is already in Lagos and is here to inaugurate or commission the Red Line project. That's the railway corridor built by the Lagos state government today. So we will be, maybe those visuals will come through at some point on the show, but let's get ready for that. Yes, those are the live pictures coming in. I hope,
And that's some traffic advisory also for you traveling along that route. You know, you just might want to reconsider if you'd like to go that way today or maybe some other time.
All right, guys. Kari. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
This is really nice. I love the honey. It's fantastic. I like the taste to it. The dried fruits, fantastic. The apple, of course, apple does its thing. Overall, I give this 9.5 over 10.
And the glassware,
you know?
And the glassware.
No, I'm keeping the glassware.
That's for you, right?
Oh, that's for me, right?
You can have it.
You're the best, man. So
I've been hustling this glass.
You must eat the parfait to take the glassware.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, your usual company. We'll be back again for the weekend edition of the show, which is tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma.
Thank you for watching. I am Bukola Koka.
Have a parfait day. Goodbye.